Hi there, welcome to the shop. Today we're talking about something I think every new woodworker should understand, and that is, where are our tools actually made? More importantly, why does made in China today look nothing like it did back in the 80s and 90s? I grew up in that era, and trust me when I tell you, Chinese-made tools back then were a totally different story. I hope you'll stick with me until the midpoint of this video because I'm going to explain why the US still makes amazing hand tools but doesn't make any power tools. I'm also going to tell you who these brands are and where you can find them. Today I'm digging into Powermatic, Harvey, DeWalt, Grizzly, and others to see what changed in the global manufacturing over the last 30 years and how it affects woodworkers like us. So what did made in China mean back in the 90s? Well, back in the 90s, when a tool said made in China, most woodworkers, myself included, had the same reaction. Cheap, low quality, and not built to last. And honestly, that reputation was well earned. We're talking inconsistent castings, soft screws and nuts, loose tolerances everywhere, fences that wandered, and plastic that cracked if you looked at it wrong. And it wasn't really China's fault. It was the brands that were making and selling them. Most companies were outsourcing just to cut cost. They'd hand a factory in China an old machine and say, copy this, and make it as cheap as possible. No engineers on site, no real quality control, just cheap tools in and cheap tools out. So what changed from the mid-2000s to today? Well, something interesting happened. These factories in China started getting really good. They invested billions of dollars into CNC machining centers. They had modern foundries built, laser alignment tools, ISO certified quality control processes, and in-house engineering teams at the factories themselves. Suddenly they could build machines with repeatability, high tolerance, and way better materials. And at the same time, American and European brands stopped saying, make it cheap, and started saying, here are the exact tolerances, surface flatness, and quality control steps we require. That one shift changed everything. All right, real quick. Let me explain something that ties the whole story together, and this was fascinating as I was researching this topic. Why do we still have amazing American-made hand tools, but almost no American-made power tools? The answer is pretty simple, actually. Here's 5 reasons. Reason number 1, we lost the casting infrastructure. In the 90s and 2000s, most US foundries either closed or switched industries. Meanwhile, China and Taiwan were investing billions into modern foundries with CNC machining and perfect cooling control. So today, the places that can actually cast jointer beds and table saw tops at scale aren't in the US anymore. Reason number 2, power tools need volume, hand tools don't. This set of Lie-Nielsen chisels cost me more than this entire job site saw and stand. A marking gauge or a hand plane, you can make those with a small team in Maine or Ohio. A cabinet saw, that's a totally different world. You need huge facilities, robotic machines, and mass production. Hand tools are small batch craftsmanship. Power tools are industrial scale manufacturing. Reason number 3, US labor cost doesn't fit the power tool price point. A premium hand plane can go for $350 to $450, and that supports US labor. But a job site table saw like this one, people expect to pay under $300. You just can't build cast iron high precision power tools in the US for those prices. Reason number 4, the US is great at precision, not mass production. I wish you could get an up close look at the difference in machining at this woodpecker's router bit compared to another competitor not made in the US. The US still crushes it at precision machining. That's why companies like Woodpeckers, Blue Spruce, and Bad Axe are thriving. Small parts, tight tolerances, and limited production runs. That's the sweet spot. But power tools need thousands of units rolling out every month. Reason number 5, China and Taiwan leveled up. A great example is my Harvey woodworking cabinet table saw. It's made in China. And the kicker is that these factories didn't just stay cheap, they got really good. CNC everywhere, automated foundries, laser alignment, modern quality control. That's why modern machines from Harvey, Grizzly, Laguna, and even Powermatic look nothing like the imports from the 90s. So if you're looking for amazing US hand tools, take a look at these companies. I don't have any affiliation with any of them, but I'll leave links in the description if you'd like to check them out. Lie-Nielsen, Woodpeckers, Blue Spruce, bad axe, and bench crafted. So that's pretty cool, right? That's why you still see incredible handmade hand tools, but almost zero American-made table saws or jointers. They're just two different worlds. Okay, back to the main video now. Let's take a look at some brands and dig into Powermatic, Harvey, DeWalt, and Grizzly. Powermatic is still known for its Tennessee roots, but even they source components globally, and the fit and finish on their modern machines is better than the older ones. That's not just nostalgia, that's machine accuracy. Harvey Woodworking. I have two of their power tools in my shop, a table saw and a dust collector. It's the perfect example of modern Chinese manufacturing done right. Their facility in Yangzhou, China is bright, clean, CNC driven, and their castings are some of the best that you can get at the prosumer level. If this is made in China, sign me up. DeWalt. DeWalt builds tools in the United States, Mexico, Brazil, China, Italy, and the UK, and the list goes on. They've proven the point. Quality is driven by design and quality control, not by zip code. Grizzly openly says many of their tools are made in China and Taiwan, and yet today, their machining, surface grind, and overall accuracy blow away the imports from 25 years ago. So why is quality so much better now? Three big things have happened that explain this jump in quality. Number one, better factories. The equipment in China plants today looks more like an aerospace plant than a 90s import factory. Number two, better specifications. Brands now require precision instead of bargain bin pricing. And number three, better quality control. Whole batches get rejected if tolerances drift. Put that together and you get modern tools that rival, and sometimes even beat, the old made in the USA classics. So what does made in China mean today? Here's the punchline. Today, made in China doesn't automatically mean low quality. It means built to the manufacturer's specification. If a company wants premium tolerances, CNC machining and high-end bearings, and strict quality control, these Chinese factories can absolutely deliver it. If a company wants to race to the bottom and ship the cheapest widget possible, the factories can do that too. It all comes down to the spec. So let's wrap up. Next time you pick up a tool and flip it over and see where it was made, remember, the country on the label doesn't tell the whole story. It's the design, the engineering, the materials, the quality control behind it. And honestly, Chinese manufacturing today is night and day better than it was back in the 90s. And that's a good thing for all of us who love woodworking. So there you have it. That's it for me, friends. Till next time, peace, love, and sawdust. I'm out.